Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Rel.
And it's Kev.
And we're back again, doing another special in conjunction. I like that word. In conjunction, in partnership with Let's Labor. We're going to do a part 2 to our first adversity episode. If you haven't listened to that or saw that, YouTube, check us out on the Let's Labor page. We're going to take a different side of adversity this time. Last time we focused on Kylie Jenner and Jay-Z and, you know, the adverse, I guess, hardships, different paths they had to take to get to that $900 billion net worth. I want to... This is a little difficult for me, but also a little empowering also. So this time we want to focus on adversity versus excuses. Because I feel like sometimes people use the adversity or the adverse circumstances as an excuse as to why they didn't succeed or why they didn't achieve these things in life. For example, this is an easy example, but a lot of times in my life, especially in the field that I work in, I work with all white people. I'm the only black person there. And when I hear people talk sometimes about things that they do with their salary and their money, I mean, like, oh, you're white, you're rich, you can't, you know, your family, and that's why you can do that with your money. Versus being like, well, damn, you know, granted, all those things might be true, but there's a lot of things that I do with my money, like, that are also why I'm not where I want to be. Like, I go out and I spend a lot of money when we go out and drink and have fun and do that. I don't even care about the tab half the damn time. I just pay, you know, I run it up. Things like that, where it's like, those are definitive, like, decisions that I'm making, you know, without even thinking, that are affecting my financial situation. If you times that, how much money, realistically, we've probably spent going out over the years that we've known each other.
Oh my God.
That money could have been invested somewhere. Things of that nature where, you know, you could have set yourself up. Or the time that we spent going out, or in general doing other things that we don't do, time that could have been invested in the podcast, time that could have been invested in us starting a business or anything of that nature where, you know what, you could be a millionaire by now if you actually, like, you know, took that time and focused on what you wanted to focus on. So I just thought it was, like, really interesting because sometimes I hear people saying things like that, and, like, it's just something that I'm trying to break myself out of the habit of also, like, not using my adversity and like how I grew up as an excuse. Go ahead.
No, I'm just agreeing.
Yeah, it's just something that, you know, I'm, like, really trying to focus on more, and just want to preach that, you know, sometimes adversity, if you use adversity too much, it's an excuse. For example, another example, we grew up, you know, lower income families, you know, basically in the hood, all that stuff. Right now, I would say we're not, like, stupid far removed from it, but we're far enough removed from it where it's like that's not an excuse anymore.
Yeah.
Like that, where, like, me growing up where I grew up is no longer an excuse now. Now I'm a grown ass man. I have access to resources being education as well, YouTube, all that stuff, to figure out how to do something if I actually want to do something, to figure out how to invest my money wisely, I want to invest my money wisely, to figure out, oh, I should have a budget, I should spend money on this rather than spend money on this. Like, and it all depends on obviously what success is to you. Success for me is, I want to, you know, have a certain amount of money in my bank account. I want to be, like, financially secure. And realistically, I just be honest, I'm not taking the appropriate steps that I should have taken all the years before I got here to put myself in the best position possible that I could be in right now. And it's like, because a lot of times I looked at it as excuses, like, oh, well, I didn't go to the school that you went to, I didn't have SAT prep, all this, you know, excess shit that people bring up into their lives that realistically, depending on how you focus on it and the context that you're using it, it's mostly bullshit to me.
Yeah, we talked about in the first part of this that we did on Jay-Z and Kylie, that, yeah, the background we come from, you know, being a breadwinner, per se, the first person out of your family, you have to help each other, so that slows down your path up the ladder. While all these things may be true, it's also that nagging thought, like, all right, you know, you have friends whose parents still help them and give them money. You can't control that. Are you maximizing what you're doing in your situation? And to your point, no. It's like, just yesterday actually, I was curious because I'm doing dry January. So I haven't spent any money on alcohol. So I was curious because I paid my my credit card bill from the holidays, which was, you know, pretty obvious. So I'm like, okay, It's like that for the holidays. But how much of this was alcohol? So I just went down my statement and just added up everything and just added up how much I would have been paying versus what I am paying. I was just like, damn. So I already know, to your point, if I did that through the year, it'd be like embarrassing. Like my eyes might water.
Yeah.
And the overall point is, like you said, that money at the worst could just be sitting in my bank account.
Yeah.
And more like optimal though could be invested. And like you started reading more books now on investing, and like I have some stocks and stuff, but it's not serious enough as it could be. So I fully agree.
Yeah.
Like I'm not one to make excuses. Like I take ownership of my actions, but it's also I'm not doing the best of these actions, you know.
Yeah.
And as I get older, that's something that you definitely do want to do. So yeah, I fully agree with you.
Yeah, and that's like we're on the regular series of our podcast. We're talking about, you know, not really having New Year's resolutions, but refocusing on things that are important to us. And finance is extremely important to me. Personal finance, anyway, is extremely important to me. So it's like, all right, personal finance is extremely important to me. I have access to resources, books, knowledge, all this stuff. So then why am I not tapping into that? Like I say finance is important to me, but then why am I not making my money make money for me?
Yeah.
Why am I like relying on someone's paychecks to allow me just to keep the repetitive cycle going? I pay my bills, all right, I got some money left over. All right, cool, now I'm gonna go out and have fun with that money. All right, cool, I put a little bit in my savings, you know? And just like that slow growth rather than let me really figure out how to make compound growth. Let me figure out how to really make money work for me. Because money is submissive. Money doesn't like have a personality or like its own, a mind of its own. If you know money, you master money, it's submissive. It'll do whatever you want it to do for you. And it's like, so like that's like the realization that I just like personally came to. And it was just like, all right, cool. And just even like looking within my family, like sometimes like my mom will say stuff or like my dad will say stuff, and they'll be like, oh, well, it's too late for them to do this. No, it's not. You know, like no, it's not. Like if you really.
It's also like a cautionary tale too, because you don't want to end up in that position.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I would like, realistically, I would like to retire by no later than 50. Like that's like my thing. I don't retire no later than 50. When I retire, I think I want to retire like extremely comfortable. I want to move how I want to. I want to buy what I want to buy without any thought, no cares in the world, within reason. Obviously, I'm not, you know, just being like frivolous with shit. But it's just also like, if I truly feel that way in my heart, then why am I not doing everything I can do to get to that point?
Yeah, it's the short term pressures on life.
Yeah.
That will then impact our long term. Like there's a lot of short term stresses and frustrations, but I think we just gotta weed through those and really focus on the long term picture.
Yeah.
So and that's hard.
It's extremely hard.
It's hard.
Because
but it'll build a new resolve that you know maybe forgotten you had, but
yeah,
you know.
And it's like we get so used to like my parents. I was always taught, you know, put money in your savings account, put money in your savings account, put money in your savings account. Whereas realistically, your savings account's only gonna give you so much in return, you know. And it's like, yeah, you should have like, you know, 6 months of some of your expenses saved up. But then after that point, everything else you're putting in there is just excess where you can really use that money elsewhere, like investing in things of that nature, where it's like, but because like I relied so much on the way I was brought up, I had to like unlearn things. I have to unlearn that habit where it's like, yo, okay, yes, my parents taught me that I need to be doing this, but I don't think I should be doing this anymore. Like, I need to unlearn those habits and learn new habits. And that's also me relying on that from, you know, 21 on. I can't use that as an excuse for where I am now. Like, because like realistically, I'm like, yo, well, my parents taught me this. Well, I didn't know any better. That's an excuse. You have
all
access to everything, and it's like not almost all the books that I've read now. It sounds crazy, but like I have a library card. I got a library card. I found out, Googled. I was like, oh, like I realized like you can download the ebooks for free. Just rent them out. The same way you would go to the library and get a physical book. I'm like, this is my tax dollars. Like I don't have to keep buying books. Why? If I just go to the library, get the same book, rent it out, and give it back to you. I mean, borrow it, and you can give it back in 21 days. So that's what I do, and it's like this is all stuff that's available to people. Like go to your local library, get a library card, download an app, log into your library card. You can rent as many books as you want. and read them and learn about anything. If you don't want to read a book, Google it.
Mm-hmm.
Google some answers right in front of you.
Yeah, there's computers in our pockets now.
Exactly. So it's like, I don't think like adverse circumstances. I mean, I'm not gonna say not all, because I know some people who've been through like the range of like true trauma where it fucks you up mentally, like where you can't even function in society for the most part. But I'm just more so talking about like economic adverse situation.
Yeah.
Like you can
look in the mirror and really ask yourself if you're doing the best that you can.
Exactly. Because I know
you're playing with, yeah.
I know for a fact I'm not. Like when, as you said, like I look back and I'm like, I spent how much money on what?
Yeah. And laugh about it.
It's like yeah.
The older we get though.
And it's like, am I gonna keep repeating the cycle?
Yeah.
Like that's what it's really about. Am I really gonna just keep repeating the cycle? All right, now you're aware of it. You acknowledge that you're doing this. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah. You're saying you want all these things for yourself, and you know you're crippling yourself.
Exactly.
So it's like
exactly.
You can't just file it under fun and no.
Exactly.
And we're older now.
So. Exactly. It was just talking like what I guess we just had on, like he's saying, yo, I've known y'all for 10 years. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like real life responsibility.
I'm like, yo.
People getting older, people getting married. It's like.
I'm like, yo, damn, I know you for 10 years?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo.
Yeah, when he said it, yeah.
I remember like when I first met you, like the first day, it's like, you know what I'm saying? 10 years.
10 years. 10 years. Everybody went 27.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Because when he said it, I'm like, damn. We ain't in our 40s, but it's like, yeah.
That's a long time ago. And you see how fast that time went.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're not like planning for the future, or even if you're not even necessarily just planning for the future, but if you're letting an adverse circumstance that happened to you in the past like detrimentally affect your future, your present and your future, like then you're using that as an excuse to a certain extent, depending on how adverse the circumstance, you know, because there's always exceptions to the rule. If it's like really traumatic, I understand, I'm not saying anything like that, but like there's only so many excuses that you can give yourself without you just, you know, saying, you know what, fuck it, these are the cards I was dealt, what am I gonna do with it? Like we're laughing about, you know, Jeff Bezos' crutch and having to give his wife $67 billion. But my nigga, you got you worth $137 billion for some shit that you started in your house. In your house, like what? Like that's like the ultimate like just commitment and buy-in to yourself. You know, I mean, I'm not saying just like start something. If you're passionate about something, like then sacrifices have to be made. But it's also like it was just interesting. I don't know where this like we were just talking today trying to figure out a top 5 adversity. It just came to me. I was like, yo, I'm reading all these books now. I'm like, yo, all these years before, it's like I had like the same access to all this stuff, but I wasn't doing it. But I just kept like dreaming and hoping that one day it would happen, without actually looking myself in the mirror and realizing that, wow, I want this long-term thing to happen. In the interim, I'm just fucking myself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like fucking myself royally. Like in the interim, I'm not doing anything to maximize what I can right now, and that's what it's about. It's about maximizing what you can in the moment, because all you can do is control what you can control. But if you don't maximize what's in your control, then you're not really benefiting yourself.
Yeah, and you're not growing.
Yeah. You have anything else to add?
No. Just that the years have passed, can't get them back, but I'm glad we're not in our 30s. We're coming to this realization.
Yeah.
You know, I like the change in mindset.
Yeah.
So.
2019 rel. Nah, but for real, I just think that it's extremely important for people to not lean on adversity to the point where it's a crutch.
Yeah, be your best self.
Yeah, just be your best self, and
stresses will come, life will test you.
Yes.
All these things pass, and it's an ebb and flow. Life is not just one joyride, and it's not just one miserable train ride. You know?
It's all about improvements, and in this new day and age of technology, we really don't have any excuses to make for ourselves.
No.
Like
we have computers in our pocket.
Yeah.
There's multiple apps.
Everything.
Yeah.
There's something for everything. Like, yeah, we're gonna end on that note. As always, guys, thank you for checking out this podcast. This special episode in conjunction with labor. We're doing adversity. This is part 2. Make sure you guys go back and check out part 1.
Check out Labor.
Yeah, check out Let's Labor. Shout out to our partners at Labor. That's appreciate the opportunity to be able to do this. Until next time, it's Coolin Out.
Stay cool.